For nearly a century, the television was the undisputed hearth of the modern home. It was the source of news, culture, and shared family moments. But today, that glow is changing. We are witnessing more than just a technological shift. We are seeing the end of an era for mainstream broadcast media. This revolution was sparked by one of the greatest miscalculations in business history. In the year 2000, a small startup called Netflix offered to sell itself to Blockbuster for just $50 million. Blockbuster's CEO famously laughed them out of the room. They were making $800 million a year from late fees, a revenue stream Netflix's model would eventually destroy. Netflix spent the next decade perfecting its DVD by mail service, building a massive library of 70,000 physical titles while perfecting their early recommendation algorithms. But the real pivot came in 2007. That year, they launched Watch Instantly. It had only 1,000 titles, but it changed everything by making content available on demand. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. In 2011, the Quickster incident nearly destroyed the company. A botched plan to split their DVD and streaming services led to an 80% stock crash. Netflix survived and doubled down on streaming. Suddenly, the race was on. YouTube had launched in 2005, and by late 2007, Hulu arrived, backed by traditional broadcasters. As high-speed internet became standard, cord-cutting transitioned from a niche hobby to a global movement. Traditional pay TV penetration began a long, steep decline. In just a few short years, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and eventually Disney Plus saw their subscriber numbers explode into the hundreds of millions. By 2025, a historic milestone was reached. 77 million American households had officially cut the cord, finally outnumbering traditional cable subscribers. The shift is driven by a massive demographic divide. Younger generations have almost entirely abandoned scheduled broadcasts in favor of on-demand streaming. The reasons are clear. Price is the number one driver. But it's also about a preference for binge-watching and the ability to watch anywhere at any time. This shift sparked what many call the streaming wars. To win subscribers, platforms began spending eye-watering sums on original programming. By 2024, the top 6 global content providers were collectively spending over $126 billion annually to fill their digital libraries. Disney emerged as the top spender at nearly $36 billion, while Netflix continues to lead pure streaming investment with $17 billion annually. But this spend is carefully calculated. Today, algorithms dictate what gets made. Completion rates and time to first watch data now greenlight multi-million-dollar projects. At the heart of this is the algorithm. Netflix's Cinematch engine was the first to prove that data could predict human desire, reducing the risk of billion-dollar flops. In 2013, House of Cards was the first big bet. Netflix knew their audience loved the director, the lead actor, and political thrillers. It wasn't a guess. It was a data-driven certainty. Seeing the writing on the wall, traditional giants like NBC, CBS, and Disney began pulling their content back, launching their own apps to survive in the new digital ecosystem. The power is undeniable. When Netflix released The Queen's Gambit, interest in chess surged globally overnight, demonstrating the platform's unique cultural influence. Similar viral explosions, like the Tiger King phenomenon, proved that streaming platforms could manufacture global cultural moments in ways broadcast TV never could. As domestic markets became saturated, the strategy shifted again. Platforms began investing heavily in international content to capture global audiences. By 2024, over half of Netflix's content spend was on non-US programming. Hits like Squid Game proved that high-quality stories could transcend language barriers. But with more options came subscription fatigue. The average US household now pays over $60 a month for multiple services, approaching the cost of old cable bundles. To combat churn, the industry is making a surprising turn: the return of advertising. Ad-supported tiers are now the fastest-growing segment of the market. By 2025, over half of all new Netflix signups were for their ad-supported plan. Viewers are proving they are willing to watch ads in exchange for a lower monthly price. This led to the explosion of fast, free ad-supported streaming TV. Platforms like Tubi and Pluto TV now boast tens of millions of active users every month. Fast platforms offer a critical entry point for price-sensitive consumers. By 2024, services like Tubi saw a 43% year-over-year increase in viewership. 2024 marked another shift, the end of growth at all costs. platforms are now prioritizing profitability, leading to price hikes and a crackdown on password sharing. For years, live sports were the indestructible pillar of the cable bundle, but even that final bastion is now crumbling. By 2025, streaming services accounted for over $12 billion in global sports rights spending, a 20% share of the total market. Major deals are shifting the landscape. Amazon, YouTube TV, and Apple are securing exclusive rights to the NFL, NBA, and Major League Soccer. Apple TV leveraged its $2.5 billion MLS deal to drive global subscriptions, especially after the arrival of superstars like Lionel Messi changed the game forever. Even Netflix has joined the fray, securing a $5 billion deal for WWE Raw and exclusive rights to high-stakes NFL Christmas Day games. This shift has devastated regional sports networks. Teams are being forced to launch their own apps, ending the era where local sports were exclusive to cable. We are entering the era of the frenemy bundle. Competitors like Disney, Hulu, and Max are now teaming up to reduce churn and survive the post-growth era. To combat churn and fatigue, platforms are teaming up to offer all-in-one packages, effectively recreating the old cable bundle in a new digital format. While Netflix leads in prestige, YouTube remains the giant of attention. By 2025, YouTube's total watch time share on televisions reached an unprecedented 12%. However, some worry this data-driven era leads to homogenization. When platforms only greenlight safe bets, the experimental and the unique can get lost in the noise. The transition is complete. Streaming has evolved from a technological experiment into the new standard of global media. We have reached the era of Cable 2.0. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the future of media. If you found this informative, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. See you in the next one. The digital takeover is just the beginning of a new chapter in human storytelling. Stay tuned for our next exploration.